Welcome to BTech Spark. Do you know the buzzword MCP? What is MCP and what issues does it resolve and what is the basic architecture of it? Nowadays, who are learning AI, this is very important for them. Along with that, in future, it becomes mandatory to learn AI. So I hope this video is useful to everyone. So let's deep dive into this topic. To understand or to explain this, I want to take a scenario. Let's say I have a database and I want to perform some SQL queries on top of it to get the or to analyze the data present in this database. Nowadays, mostly the software engineers, what they are doing is they are making utilizing of these models and they're asking these models and getting the queries like how to query to analyze the data present in it and make use of these models and they executing the commands manually on top of these data sources to get the analysis out of these data sources. Okay, let's see the flow like how a user is analyzing the data source by utilizing the model. So first what a user do is he provide some context related to what he want to perform to the model as a query. Then this model will generate some commands so that this user can able to get some analysis on top of this source. Then what happens? This user will take these commands and he can able to execute on top of this data source and based on the response he got, he can able to design the analysis. So if we observe here, first user is passing some context to the model, then based on the model comments, again user is passing the same commands to the data source to getting the analysis, right? Yes. So at this point, let's say the model is providing one command to analyze this data. Then this user can able to perform this one command and get the analysis. Let's say the number of commands got increased based on the context. If the context is or if the contextual requirement is more, or if the user require some analysis where that require more number of commands to be executed. So during that time, what happens? He need to take one by one command and the user need to perform one by one command manually on top of the database or data source to get the analysis. So this is where the problem comes with, or this is where the huge demand comes with. Is there any way so that this model can able to directly communicate with the data source and can able to provide the analysis that is other than this human intervention in middle? So is there any way where this model can able to directly perform the commands on top of this database and provide the analysis? Yes. So that's where this protocol comes in. That protocol is MCP. What is MCP? It's a model context protocol. So what does it manage, sir? It manages the context between the model and the data sources. Okay. So this MCP can able to manage how to pass the commands or how to pass the data between our model and other external data sources. So for one command, it can able to directly pass. But so if the communication is one directional, then the model doesn't know the result, right? Yes. So sometimes there might be having multiple commands where model need to perform on top of the data source to get overall analysis. So during that time, do this MCP can able to provide the context of the results, or you can say, so for one command, this data source will provide one result, right? Yeah. For one command, it will provide one intermediate result. So like that, for multiple commands, it will perform or it will provide multiple results. Let's say I want to I want to perform second command based on the first result. So during that time, this model need to have a knowledge or context of this result, right? Yes. So can this MCP will pass that context, or can MCP will pass the same context to the model? Yes. So this can even pass the context result as a context to the model effectively. So it can also manage this, that is this cycle. So from this, what you understood is, so by using what we can able to manage the context between our model as well as the data source. So that is MCP. It can able to manage the context between our model and our data source. It can able to pass the commands, or it can able to pass the context from model to data source as well as from data source to our model as well. So this can able to manage it by our MCP. And finally, the result even generated or the analysis even generated from the model itself. So after getting the whole analysis, after getting the all results, or after getting the full context related to the analysis, model can able to generate the analysis at the end to the user. And so this, I mean, who developed this, or who can take up this challenge and develop this? So this was developed by Anthropic. So on top of so this was developed by Anthropic to resolve this context passing issue between model as well as a data source for their cloud models. So initially, Anthropic developed this protocol for only for their cloud models. After that, they make this MCP as an open source. They made this MCP as open source, so everyone can able to use it now. And nowadays, it becomes model agnostic. So what does this model agnostic means? That means any LLM, any model can able to use this MCP protocol to communicate effectively with data sources. So not only these, while these Anthropic developing this context, they developed for three things, or they developed to provide context between model as well as tools, and model as well as the data sources, and model as well as the prompts, so that a model can able to effectively access whatever the prompt that the model require, and can able to communicate effectively with the tools or the data sources, so whenever it requires. So after designing this MCP, the company standardized this whole architecture into few sub blocks, where this block where tools or data sources or prompts are developing. This block they call it as MCP server or MCP host. This is where these all developments comes in. And coming to this model part, that is where clients are using this MCP protocol to communicate with these MCP server tools or data sources or prompts. So this part they're calling it as MCP client. The client may be, so from where and where we use this model, we use this model from IDEs, we use it from applications, as well as we use it from directly the code editors. Cloud is one of the code editor, VS Code is one of the code editor, and Cursor is one of the code editor. From there we can make use of this MCP. This support is nothing but MCP protocol will take care of it. So in middle no user is required. This all context passing between model as well as, that is MCP client and MCP server. The context passing in between MCP client and MCP server is taken care by this MCP protocol. Due to this standardization of MCP protocol, what happens is we got a lot of advantages, like these MCP server developers are different and these MCP client developers are different. So whoever required to develop their applications with the servers, so they just make use of already developed servers. These server developers will develop only once, and they will be make use of these clients for their communication. Till today, we have multiple servers are already developed. So here the noticeable point is, so develop once the server and make use of the server with multiple MCP clients. It indicates we don't need to develop the server again and again. So that is the one of the advantage if we are using MCP. In today, we have multiple servers. Official servers are already developed and hosted and make it available on online. So we can make use of those servers on top of our application to achieve effective results as well. That means due to this standardization protocol, or due to this standardization part, the servers development, we don't need to, as a client developer or application developer, you don't need to focus on much more on top of this servers development. Already community as well as official servers are available, so we can make use of them. Where can we able to find those already created MCP servers, sir? So those are available in online. You can just search for MCP servers. So if you search for it, then you can able to get this MCP servers, awesome MCP servers. You can open it. There you can able to identify multiple MCP, awesome MCP servers, which was provided by officially as well. So for searching, for web searching, you have multiple servers which are already available. For scraping, web scraping, as well as for communication, for file system also there. You can see file system, one of the server is there. So how to make use of it? So to make use of it, you can just open the GitHub and need to copy the configuration. You can see Docker related configuration is there, npx related configuration is there, and usage in VS Code is also provided here. So like this, you can make use of the configuration and simply include that on top of your client, that is MCP client, on top of your application, so that you can able to provide this communication between them, that is MCP client as well as MCP server. You can see the databases. So mostly ChromaDB, Postgres, SQL is there. So like this, multiple. You can see almost MySQL database also there. MongoDB is there. Almost all database is also there here. So in future, since it's a open source, so everyone is going to develop. You can see GitHub related MCP servers are also there. So make use of those MCP servers which are already developed and make your model to be more powerful to communicate effectively with the tools and can able to achieve the task on top of your application and can able to provide effective results as well as analysis. So this is all about what is MCP and so what issues does it resolve and what is the architecture of it and what are the who developed it and basic knowledge of this MCP. I hope you understood the power of MCP. This is all about this video. I hope you understood this video and get some knowledge or knowledge recap from this video. Hope this video is useful to you. If you feel this video is useful to you, then please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. Thanks for watching again. See you back in the next video with another interesting topic. Until then, bye bye, guys.